Hi guys, welcome to episode 5 of Carmen's Craft Fair Tips and Tricks. Number 1, let's dive right in. Business cards. A lot of people forget the back is blank. You have space. You can always put your socials on the back. So make sure you put your socials and even a GR code if you want to have them transfer to wherever you want them to be. Number 2, this one is so important. Tables. Definitely you want to buy them from Walmart. They have adjustable table length height ones, which is great, and they fold in half. So you basically get a 3-foot that splits in half but goes out to 6 by 2.5 feet. They're the perfect tables for doing craft fairs, that I will say. And you can always, I think the last time I checked, you can also purchase them either in white or in black. So it depends on what you want. Now, I hate to say this, the winner again for decent priced tablecloths, which is number 3, Walmart. It's cheaper to buy flat sheets, like twin flat sheets to go over the tables I just mentioned at Walmart. They have tons of colors. They're beautiful colors at that. You're bound to find one. Even if you go and buy basic white or basic black, and even if the black fades, be smart. Just get some dye. Re-dye them black. Simple as that. You don't have to worry about it. And believe me, your tablecloths after a few years will start fading because, you wash them and they fade. And they fade with the sun, especially if you've been on an outdoor craft fair. And a lot of the craft fairs require you to cover the legs in front and the sides so they don't see anything underneath the table, like your feet or your bins. And on top of that, it's great for storing your bins while you're there, so you don't have to take the bins back to the car. You can automatically put everything back into the bins when you leave, as well as carry extra product and shove them in the bins and shove them underneath the table. So as things disappear, because, we're hoping for a lot of sales, you can replace it and try to get more sales. So the other thing I hate to say is always number 4, buy good quality counterfeit pins. I hate that I have to even say this in this day and age, and I hate that we've gotten to this point in the world that you have to have counterfeit pins for cash. It just is. You'd be surprised. There's people who will, even at a craft fair or an art fair or a Renaissance fair, will actually try to pass off counterfeit bills. And it's just unfortunately the nature of the beast. So always buy yourself some good counterfeit pins. I usually get mine from Office Depot or even Office Max. They seem to be the best ones. They don't dry out. I've had mine in my box for years and they still don't dry out. Occasionally it gets, 10 years, then you might want to check your counterfeit pins before you go to your next fair. But still, they last a long time. So it's worth the investment. Now, number 5, this is important. Your change bank. You definitely want to have some options here. I have an option A, which is $200. And the bank goes as this: 5 20s, 4 10s, 6 5s, and 30 1s. You'd be surprised how well those ones last throughout the whole entire fair. And make sure you also have metal coin change. I usually just buy a bunch of, or I take leftover change that I get on a daily and I just shove it in there until I fill the thing to a good medium. You don't need to have a lot of change in there at all times. And I just leave it in my lockbox. That's all I ever do. And option B, the 150 range. You want to have 4 20s, 3 10s, 4 5s, and 21s. And I can say this, my option A and option B, the $200 and the $150 banks, are good for like if you're doing craft fairs. You know you're not going to be making a lot of money. Like it's the, I'm going to make $250 to $500 range type craft fair, or definitely a church craft fair. Because most of the time the church craft fairs, the only people who show up for traffic are the people that are in the church. Like they literally are like, they show up. It's not really, you won't get a lot of the out on the street type public that are going to the craft fairs that are at churches. But, it is a place to get yourself exposed to other audiences, and a small, quick little craft fair for a church one isn't bad either. So, on that note, here goes my bonus tip. Get a professional banner. Get your banner with the grommets. And the reason I'm going to tell you why I get the ones with the grommets is this. You can use it to tie it up with rope to your canopy. You don't want to be having to put the grommets in yourself. I don't know about you. When you're thinking of working on your craft fair stuff, you don't have time to be adding grommets to your banner. Get it already done. Second of all, the grommets are great if you have an indoor one and you're using grid walls. You can zip tie the banner to the grid wall. So like I said, get the one with the grommets. If you do purchase another one and get the one without the grommets, it's great to tape to the front of your tablecloth in front of your table for the front of your booth. So it works out nice. One thing I can say is this. When you deal with it and you store it, roll it. Don't fold it, and don't try to keep it laying flat. You're never going to have room for it anyways if you do that. But always roll it, because I have found that if you try to fold it, for some reason it always puts a crease in it that you can never get out. So I don't know why, but yeah. The other thing I would suggest is this. When you put your website on it and you put your company name on it, don't be like me, who was an idiot and stuck my Etsy shop. Because you never know in the future if you're going to change platforms, or if the platform decides to close up shop and then you're out of luck and then you have to go and reprint your thing. I'm leaving Etsy, so I should have been smart and did what I had done before. I got myself a GoDaddy domain name, basically booking myself a website as a place card holder, even knowing I was still doing Etsy. But what you can do is have your info, when somebody touches to your .com, it'll automatically forward it to your Etsy shop for you until you build your own website, and then it goes to your website. I wish I had put my website, my .com, on my banner. I wouldn't be having to go and buy a new banner now because of that. So, like I said, be smart, put your website on it, and get yourself a domain name. Even if you're at Etsy, just have it forwarded. Be smart. That is my tips and tricks today. So I hope this will help and learn from my mistakes, because if I can help anybody learn ahead of time and not make the mistakes I have, you're doing good. All right. I will catch you guys tomorrow for episode 6.